us who are listening. They've done a really good job.
Yeah.
I hope you can all see, or should we make it bigger? Okay. We can see it now. And today Dr. Teresa will be my assistant for the first time. Okay, so this is the third communique out of the third national ECD stakeholders conference, themed promoting synergies, inclusive approaches to ECD, held on the 29th to 31st July at Mombasa Continental Resort. Of course, our hashtag this tweet is third ECD Conference Kenya. And this is the preamble. It's a very short communique. It's 1.5 pages. So the preamble, I start to read now. We, the over 265 delegates from 26 counties and over 70 organizations, representatives of government and agencies, national and counties, UN agencies, philanthropists, donor communities, academia and the media congregated at Mombasa Continental Resort in Kenya for the third National ECD Stakeholders Conference, themed promoting synergies, inclusive approaches to ECD. Regarding ECD, this is the Kenya we want. Article 53 of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees a child's best interest as paramount for national development, which is a shared responsibility by all ECD stakeholders. The story of ECD must not end at the delivery room. We are cognizant of the fact that child health ensures the survival of the voiceless, most children at the age of 5, but we must go further. Those who survive must also thrive and live to transform. This is how we will change the ECD, the story of ECD. As reflected in the vision of ECD Network for Kenya, a society where all children aged 0 to 8 years realize holistic ECD for lifelong success. The same is echoed in the Nurturing Care Framework, which calls for a change in public policies, services, and programs to ensure that no child is left behind. Launched in May 2018 at the World Health Assembly, the Nurturing Care Framework serves as a roadmap for action in implementation of child rights in early childhood. Now we move to the call to action. We are almost there. Okay, so maybe I can invite input. We can do it at the end. Okay. Sawa. A call to action. This communique provides lobbying opportunities for stakeholders to prioritize ECD interventions in the highest political and decision-making platforms. The communique is an addition to the 2018 Nairobi call to action. We call for the profiling and recognition of counties that are improving investments in ECD services aimed at showcasing best practices for national adoption. We, the 260 delegates, 1, call on all players, actors, and sectors of government concerned with issues of children aged 0 to 8 to accelerate sustainable financing in the early years, as early interventions have lifelong impact. Number 2, embrace intergenerational transfer of stimulation and nurturing care practices of the traditional African society. Yesterday we heard that grandparents know how to do nurturing care. Acknowledge that many parents of young children know what to do, but face many barriers to providing adequate care. call upon national and county governments, employers, service providers, and policymakers in Kenya to collaborate in providing targeted support for parents to nurture their children. Number 5, call for adequate and child-friendly spaces for children to play, including those with special needs. Number 6, recognize that ECD is a devolved function in Kenya. Therefore, great expectation is placed on county governments to invest in, to drive the children's agenda, as well as seek political leadership and championing of ECD at the highest political levels. 7, recognize the commitment of county first ladies to patron ECD, which can foster the championing of ECD at the highest political levels. Number 8, call for a national platform for sharing and documenting ECD stories. Number 9, we're almost there. Recognize the critical role that the media in Kenya can play in highlighting the children's agenda. We had over 14 media houses here, and we had a lot of live shows. And we call for targeted engagement and partnership with media houses to advance the agenda. Number 10, advocate for research agenda focused on the hardest to reach and equitable childcare services for children under 4 years, multi-sectoral and coordinated programming in the early years, scalable and cost-effective ECD models. And finally, resolve that the National ECD Stakeholders Conference shall be held biennially on a rotational basis in all the 47 counties. So the call to action themes are investment, parent engagement, coordination, research and documentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Stella. We'll only give like maybe two questions because of time, or maybe comments. So Arif, you want to start?
Thank you. I just want to, since we're looking at this for the first time, I just want to make sure there's enough there around the nurturing care framework components and the issue of integration, because I think that's the biggest issue where fragmentation is happening. So just to make sure we've got enough language on that. Secondly, when we talk about 26 counties, I thought Oscar mentioned in the opening that we had all 47 counties in the room, or did I mishear that? So maybe we are understating our participation. So let me just, there were 40, but there were about 26. Okay. And thirdly, you talk about a call for a national platform to share ECD stories, but we already have ECD Kenya network, so do we really need yet another platform?
Thank you. Additional at the back? Do we have anybody at the back? Okay. Since there are only 2 hands, let me give them a chance. Just 2. Please don't add your hand.
I'm a teacher, so I like standing.
Make it
so
short.
bear with me.
Make it short.
I maybe require that one of the national or number 7 terms. The word terms and service. You know, this is a national congress, and we are recognized. And if we send this message, it could be taken in. When the ECE teachers' terms and service is recognized, they will be at a better place. Then the issue of a TSC number, they should not segregate. All ECE teachers, whether trained where, whether in a university, whether in a what, so long as that institution is recognized, they should be given a TSC number. When somebody has a TSC number, this person is recognized to teach anywhere and can be held accountable. Kindly capture that in those recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.